Excuse me, sir. Do you know what time it is? I'd like to know what the time is. Oh, I do hope I know what the time is.
The number you have dialed.
And now, somewhere in Cape Town, South Africa, it's #Beer Time.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of #Beer Time, the podcast. Oh yeah. So in this episode we have Greg and Cole from Beer Country, good buddies of mine, and I was very lucky enough that they had some awesome American beers with them. So this was recorded early August during the IPA Day and International Beer Day. So it was a definite beer week, a great week to be alive and try all sorts of different beers. So that's exactly what we did on the show. We talk a lot about the state of the brewing nation, as well as comparing it to the American scene. We also got to talk about some beer documentaries and things that they're involved in at the moment. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the show. I hope you enjoy it. Ciao. It most certainly is #Beer Time. It's 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. Hello, welcome to the show. Let me adjust the mic slightly. Can you guys hear me? Yes, I'm sure you can.
I can hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a time to be alive. It's Tuesday at 12 o'clock. It's time for one thing and one thing only. It's #Beer Time. Whoa! Let's turn on the gangster music there just a little bit.
Getting out the gates.
Guys, we've got some really good friends in the studio. Please put your hands together, if you can, for Greg and Carl from Beer Country. Gentlemen,
Hey.
welcome.
What's up, beer people?
Welcome back. Are you happy with that intro music?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You guys, aren't you guys known as the gangsters of the beer world?
Yeah, totally.
Hey?
We earned that, bro.
Oh,
I don't know how, but we did.
yeah.
Let's go with it.
Guys, welcome back. It's good to have you back in the studio. How are your microphones sounding? Can you hear me all right? Can you hear yourself?
Dude, I've got to tell you, I sound fantastic.
Oh,
I can hear myself. I can hear you. Unfortunately, I can hear Greg.
let me just turn mine down. Hold on. How about no. Oh.
Bro, have you done this before, bro?
But this, every show, it feels like my first show.
Every show is a new adventure.
Oh, I'm sweating, not from walking down here. I'm sweating, just the nerves. Guys, before we get into the show, as you know, every time on #Beer Time, we start the show with the beer. And this week is a very, very special week. I say that every show, because every week really is a special week. But this is, I would guess you'd say, a beer nerd special week, because we've got 2 awesome days lined up. It's International IPA Day on Thursday and International Beer Day on Friday. Don't ask me why they're so close together, but for anyone who loves beer, this is the week.
Christmas, man.
Yeah.
Hallelujah, man.
Christmas. First, it's always the first week in August, from what I know. There's a little bit of a set rule there. But I think the plan is just to celebrate good beer, good IPA on Thursday. And I think we've got a bit of a theme going today. I know you gentlemen have brought us some beers from your travels.
Absolutely. Well, not from our travels. We had a friend of ours who came back from the States recently. Thank you, Caro.
Thank you, Caro.
Yeah, and bought us a couple of Fremont, a summer pale ale and an interurban IPA. And then the 4 Sierra Nevada pale ales in bottles, delicious. And we've got one here today. So I think that should probably be the beer we start off with, you know.
I think you said it well. Let's crack it open. I think the whole theme of today's show should be based around hops, because it is it's a hoppy week.
Let's do that.
And I made a special effort with the glasses that I bought. It's a Spiegelau, a German-made IPA glass. So I know that it's a very... look, I'm not into my glass, but I know that it's a very special type of glass. It's from Germany.
This is the IPA glass.
And this is the IPA glass. I think it was developed by Sam Calagione of Dogfish Head.
Okay.
And I'm gonna butcher this. It's either Lagunitas or Sierra Nevada, or maybe I think it was a combination of three guys
that developed the glass.
that developed the glass. They wanted an IPA glass that emphasized. Thank you very much. Emphasized the hop aroma. So cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Sounds nice.
I can hear the crystal
You
from
can
here.
you can
man.
hear the hops
Hear the
singing.
quality.
Talk to us about this beer. What off the bat? What do you know about it?
Well, I mean, it's probably one of the beers that started the craft beer revolution over in the States, and it is still, I think, the go-to beer for a lot of people over that side of the world. We've had the other three of the four already.
The way you said it was like we had all four here.
But
No one knows. No one knows.
Well,
They have to take our word for it.
yeah. And how many beers have we still got to go? Six.
We do
Seven?
6. Yeah, I've enforced strict limits on the number of beers because it's you still have to work after this. And
7's a good number then.
I thought we are working. Aren't we working? I'm sure
this
working.
is kind of work. It all falls under the work brackets.
Back to beer. So this is a Holco and American hops.
Yep.
And just a beautiful pale ale. You're getting grapefruit and
Beautiful clarity in color.
Yeah, and this amazes me that this is kind of the let's call it gateway beer over in the States. You know, this is kind of your I don't want to it's
Cheapest.
your session off the shelf 12-pack beer.
This might even be considered an IPA in South Africa.
It's a funny
which
thing,
is not I wouldn't say it's a good thing, but yeah, these guys. This is a proper pale ale.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Thick, it's dank, it's tasty as hell.
It's the flagship of pale ales.
What I thought was quite interesting is Caro's boyfriend, if I can call him that, when she was buying these pale ales, he was like, "Why are you buying that? Like, why are you not taking anything good back?" Oh. And we're like, "All we want is Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Please, can you bring us some?"
We've had a couple of crazy beers from the States already
Yeah.
in all the journeys to and from or whatever, but yeah, this time it was like we need the starting point.
I
Let's
know.
go out there.
I know our friend Ross from Jack Black. He's got a bit of a romantic love interest with Sierra Nevada.
Yes, we know this.
I think he's. I've seen posters in his office of Sierra
Yeah.
Nevada. I'd hate to think what he's got in his bedroom.
Yeah, not on the back of the toilet door.
But he's. I think that's where his love from craft beer grew. We're talking obviously now about the owner of Jack Black Brewing Company. He was in the States, I think, about a few years, 5 to 10 years, and he just fell in love with Sierra Nevada, and I mean, why wouldn't you? And then I think he's been trying to, since starting Jack Black back in 2007, he's been trying to bring a South African equivalent into the markets.
Sure.
I think they've tried that with I think it's the Cape Pale Ale. It's a great beer. It's one of my favorites. I think there's still obviously room for improvement there, but I think that's the next kind of step that he wants to achieve.
Do you find that? And I always think it's interesting because this is quite a big beer. I mean, for this, if you had to put this in the South African market, it's quite a large beer. But over there, it's just a run-of-the-mill thing. I think
This is a 6-pack beer.
No,
This is
it's delicious, but they're starting off from such a high base. Do you think we sometimes like undersell it and then make something that's, we can't make it too out there, you know? We want to make it more sessionable, but this is super sessionable.
I think it just comes back down to the argument or discussion that the South African market is not used to it. You know, we live in a very dry climate, and I think if you look at all the places that have, I mean, you could argue this point, but you look at the places that are traditionally making bitter beer. It's your England, your Northern Territories of. I am thumbsucking facts now, but
Because California is pretty cold, man.
it does have some snowy peaks there.
I don't know that.
Yeah, listen. If you heard it on the hashtag Beer Time, it's true.
It must be true.
It's
I don't
true.
know.
It is fact.
This is really good.
Yeah, this is.
Get in my belly.
I'm a little upset that it's. I've only probably got about one sip left.
So listen, you've had your beer documentary out there or whatever. How's things going with that?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. It's good that I don't need to bring it up, but it's going great. You know,
I suppose you guys are all too familiar with the sleepless nights that one gets from will it sell, will it work, why aren't people buying into this, who am I, why am I here? So it has its ups and downs. You know, you've got these moments when you make a beer documentary like, cool, this is a great idea, we're actually going for it, we're doing it, okay, this needs to happen, A, B, C, okay, A and B is not happening, let's do C, okay, wait, C is not going to happen, oh shit, now I need to try and figure out D, E, and F.
Pretty much.
So, you know, it's been a bit of a struggle. We've been very fortunate that the majority of the breweries that we visited donated some beer to us. The plan was to then sell it on Yappie Chef or Liga Beers. And unfortunately, it just hasn't been so, the public hasn't been as forthcoming as we would have liked to.
Come on, guys, go buy some beer.
And you know, I must just say that we've slashed prices now. Like, it's ridiculous. It's 250 Rand a case.
Which is
And
really good, yeah.
I'd like to see someone find 12 craft beers, a mixed selection of 12 craft beers in South Africa
Great craft beers.
for under 250 Rand.
Absolutely.
I think you'll be hard pressed to find something like that in a place around South Africa. But back to what we're doing, I think we're going to try and organize an event somewhere, Beer House or Banana Jam. We're thinking of just having a beer market where we just sell beer for cheap. You know, you can come and you can buy, you can drink beer for, I don't know, what's cheap? 10 Rand a bottle of craft beer? That's
Even 20.
It's pretty good.
20 is good.
Yeah.
Don't tell, I was going to say, don't tell anyone else. Sell it for $10.
Yeah.
Sell it for
But no,
$10.
so here's my question. Why do you think, I mean, you're experiencing this firsthand and we've been down this road. Why do you think it's like this? Like, craft beer has such a solid community, but when it comes to supporting projects like this or Beer Country, like, it's tough. And do you think... why do you think that is?
There's a very romantic notion that you want to do this and you want to do it for craft and you want to do it without sponsorship from big guys and
Yeah.
you want to, you want to fly the flag for craft beer. And I think breweries and social media friends and experts or whatever, they're willing to help, but only to a certain point.
Sure.
You know, you can only, and I think it goes with anything you release into the market. There's someone once told me, you know, when you launch a business or when you launch a product, you're going to get those 3 Fs, those fools, friends, and family. They're all going to buy into your product.
Sure.
And that's easy. You're going to get it. It's the people that you don't know that's difficult. So I don't know. You could dwindle it down to marketing, lack of marketing.
Do you think it's a South African thing? Because if we were in America, I mean, if you look at Brewdog, they funded breweries
Yeah.
just purely by crowdfunding.
No, I'm sure
So-
if you were, it'd be very interesting. If I went to New York or California now, and I launched a South African beer documentary, and I launched it on a Kickstarter, I wonder what would happen.
Well, I mean, you know, Carl, I think you said something there about community, and I think there's something to be said there because as craft brewers in South Africa and craft beer people, I think we're all in the same boat to a certain degree. We're all trying to make it. We're all trying to go forward, and you know, it's finding it together, and it's tough sometimes. And you know, you found out we've taken, you know, it's 2 years now for Beer Country to get onto South African TV, which we're officially announcing today. So I'm going to allude to that. How is that segue?
I do want to talk about that. Let's talk about that when we crack open our second beer. But I just want to finish off on, or just talk a little bit more about that in the community in South Africa. I think also there's a, I mean, from what I've seen, I've just come back, as some of you might know, I've just come back from Russia. I've had friends come back from the States, and people kind of ask me, well, what can you see any differences? And you know, the bottom line is that South Africa as a craft beer market is still very young, and it's still very, I hate to use this word, but not immature, but it's just it's child. We've got brewers who are coming from a home brewing setup.
Sure.
They are starting it as a very small startup. Their capital or their funds that they've collected, I'm assuming here, but I've studied the market, I know a little bit about it, and they are starting a brewery which is very small. And the thing I've noticed about breweries overseas, or if you look at the USA and you look, when I look at Russia, there's massive. When you start a brewery, there's massive capital that goes into a brewery.
Sure.
So you've got breweries who start in with a canning line. You've got breweries that are starting not with a guy who wants to start a brewery. You hire in a professional brewer. You get in someone who knows what they're talking about, who knows how to make a beer. So you start in almost with this.
It's a proper
professional
business. Yeah.
setup. You start in. Imagine starting a brewery right now. That's the size of Jack Black or Devil's Peak or CBC.
You know what it is? I think that there's probably good and bad things that come from that. Because
Sure.
we live in South Africa. We live in Africa, and the thing
This is Africa, baby.
No, but like a boer maak 'n plan. And every now and again, when you have the smaller guys and everything like that are figuring it out at ground level and taking
Yeah.
it forward from there, there's lessons there. There's development there. Like that's our R&D research base
Sure.
in craft beer South Africa.
But
And
there's also good and bad.
There's good and bad.
You know,
And
like-
that's blessings and curses. It goes both ways, for sure.
I think what we can count our lucky stars is that we can base a lot of our things, our experiments, off America, USA, and the thing also to look forward to is that we are learning and we're making mistakes and we're getting rid of those mistakes, and people that are breweries that are not up to the international standards are going to fall away,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But that's only going to improve next generation beer. So the beer in 5 years' time, 10 years' time. And I mean, I'm pretty sure when USA launched their craft beer scene in the 80s, beer must have been shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might even happen quicker than that because, like you said, we've got inspiration to take from across the pond, and we got a Mac.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you find South Africans like to ignore instructions, so we'll probably make all the same mistakes.
I mean, how
Are you talking to me or in general?
General.
I would say, I mean, the United States craft beer movement, if you would like to call it. I read somewhere that Randy Mosher his partner entered the National Beer Trophy 1989. I think that was one of the first years where they had it. Again, I speak under correction, but so you can call the USA market 30 years old, whereas we're almost 10 years old. And I think, yeah, as you said, I don't think we'll take 30 years to get there. We might take another 5, hopefully not 10 years to get to that international level. Guys,
Yes.
I think I've spoken way too much in the first, let's have a look here, 17 minutes of the show. Less chit-chat, more drinky-drink.
Yes.
Okay.
What are we doing here? Empty glass.
Next one. Okay. Well,
What is this, a talk show?
What is this? I
Live.
got sold a liar, man.
Well, let me tell you about this one. This is from Fremont Brewery in Seattle. It's in Washington State, which is also where the Yakima Valley is from. Biggest hop growing region in the States, second in the world. And it's their Summer American Pale Ale, which is actually a smash beer.
So smash beer?
Single malt, single hop.
Okay.
I will confirm it now. It's I think it's Crystal Pale Malt, and 2-row Crystal Pale Malt, and Amarillo hops.
Is it just me, or is there a lack of smash beers out there?
Well, I mean, there was
I know
a smash
that.
beer day the other day.
I
wasn't
know
there?
that the.
Wait, listen. Shh.
Oh, stop it!
Yay.
Stop it! I know that homebrewers make smash beers quite a bit because it's worthwhile to learn about what the malts taste like, what the hops aroma comes out as.
I suppose you're not muddying it with 10 different ingredients, so you can appreciate the 2 ingredients, or the 2.
But that must be pretty special if you make a smash beer on a commercial scale, and it's actually pretty good to can.
We'll find out.
We're about to find out.
It is in a can.
Don't jump the gun,
and it
Troy.
looks good, but you never know.
Well, I mean, is this like is that beer's equivalent of like a single malt, or like a single varietal in the wine world, or something like that, where you got one and one?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, you could argue that it is. Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Greg short pouring us here.
Sorry, guys. Troy, pass your glass here, bud.
Oh, thank you. I won't say no.
And there you go, my friend. It's your show after all.
Oh, look at you guys. A
Okay.
little bit hazy, which is a good sign. Means they've most likely added some hops towards the end of the fermentation, called dry hopping.
Smells really good.
It's got a bit of a Nachi character, eh?
Well, that's what it says here. It says, let's do this quickly. Nectarine.
Nachi.
No.
Nice.
Tangerine flowers in a glass. Endless days of summer.
So not.
Quote unquote.
Oh, it's very sweet in the front. And ooh. So sorry, I didn't hear that. This is a pale ale.
Yeah, summer pale ale. Tangerine flowers in the glass. Endless days brewed into nectar of barley and hops. There we go.
That's pretty tasty.
This is
Yo.
But now you're dealing with a 5.2% pale ale that is 46 IBUs. And that's just like an average pale ale kind of thing. And
this is great. You could slap IPA on that can, and I'd believe you. And it would.
Easy.
And it actually doesn't matter that it's raining outside. Again, blessings, not curses for Cape Town.
Summer inside here.
Yeah, summer inside here.
Summer in here.
Yay.
No, this is delicious. This is
Very good.
very good. I would most certainly purchase some of these.
Citrus peel, dank. Yeah, and this is one of the 3 beers that we got from the States. If there's any friends in the States that are listening, what's up, boys and girls? How's it?
I'm sure we've got lots of friends.
Millions, no doubt.
It's nice when people bring us gifts back. Eh? That's nice.
We love gifts. Yeah.
We like gifts.
We
Anything in a cylindrical shape is.
No, well, speaking of that, like a lot of the guys and girls know that if they head out this side of the world, there's 2 things: there's beer and sriracha sauce.
Oh,
My brother knows if he comes out here without a bottle of sriracha, he gets back on the plane, goes back, and kind of has to do it
yeah.
proper.
But now we.
Go
I said
ahead,
we'd come back to it on this second beer. Talk to us about beer country. I mean,
Yay!
what's shit, man? Do I have to wait 2 years? I mean, what's
Hopefully not.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a quote before we actually get into that. And
I don't think we've ever had a quote on the show.
Babe Ruth. We are drinking American beer, so Babe Ruth, the baseball player, said it's tough to beat someone who never gives up.
Oh
And
man, we're so Babe Ruth right now.
Me up here, buddy.
And that's actually been a thing because you get told to know a lot and wait and everything like that. It takes time, but you know what? It all pays off in the end, and it's exactly the right time for beer country to come on. It is this summer. It is in the middle of beer and braai season. Saturdays, 5 p.m. on ETV channel 195, ETV Extra. So it's a DSTV channel 195. 2nd of December till the 13th of January, right over silly season.
How many episodes?
6 episodes, so half an hour an episode.
If I'm correct, there's My Ugly Mug on there.
You are. I mean, you've been, it's been flighting in India and Afghanistan
Oh goodness!
for a while. Goodness gracious me.
We always get asked, who's that tall, handsome guy in the garage?
But I thought they were talking about
The cameraman. Yeah.
And on SAA, so you've been all over the show there.
Oh, really?
Along with a bunch of the other guys like Greg and Sean and Mitch at Afro Caribbean. The first episode. Also, we can say, wait, let's run through the list. Should we run through the list? Let's run through the list. We've got a massive thank you to say to a couple of people. Before we get stuck into it, just for gambling on beer country, and without them, this epic road trip that we were on would not have been possible. So, League of Beers, first and foremost, old Mr. Rob Haynes, got us out the gate.
What a gentleman!
What a gentleman.
Absolute
superstar.
Pioneer,
superstar. Roverland for keeping thirsty on the road. We had Nomu Herbs and Spices, delicious food, and TJ's Lekker Braai for giving us all the charcoal and cameel doring we could throw some petrol in a match at. Fantastic. And then like the breweries, every episode has a different aesthetic, different breweries. So we've got everything from Cape Town to Knysna to the Karoo to down to Cape Agulhas into the Winelands up the West Coast. So Devil's Peak, Afro Caribbean. We've got Woodstock, Darling, Wild Clover, CBC, Birkenhead, Fraser's Folly, Saggy Stone, and Ronnie's Sex Shop.
And you haven't missed anyone because I missed in my wedding speech. I forgot to thank a few people. So
we were
one
sitting
thing
there
I learned,
waiting for you to thank
yes,
us.
one thing I learned is that, and if there's anyone I've missed,
Yes.
I apologize.
You know who you are, guys. You know who you are.
You know you are. Thank you. Epic. So that's the that's the
Thank
start
you,
of the
T-Bone.
Thanks, Troy, for
Thanks,
being
Troy.
episode 1 and introducing us to home brewing and
Yeah.
Not killing us in that gas explosion.
Yes. But
No.
it is on, and it's like I said,
Guys,
also,
I'm excited.
to the guy. Wait, one other guy, Cooked in Africa, Justin Vanilla and old Peter Good for helping us actually get it onto television. was a 2-year struggle, but yeah.
Well done, guys.
And our crew.
Yeehaw, and the crew.
I think we're good now.
And
I think we're good.
so that, I mean, that some of the stuff was filmed 2-3 years ago, hey?
Sure.
So we're going to see younger versions.
Much younger versions of all of us.
You're going to see how we've aged.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think my
Scary.
beard now is longer than Cole's beard when we were shooting. So I mean, if any of you know any of us, you know how long ago that was.
If anybody wants to see the effects of too much craft beer, tune in.
Tune in.
But a lot of the guys have got new breweries now. So
Yeah.
this is the thing, and it's a testament to the strength of investment and craft beer development in South Africa. That Darling, beautiful new brewery. Same story. Devil's Peak's building their new brewery now.
The Saggy, no, not Saggy Stone. Fraser's Folly.
Fraser's got a new brewery.
He's got a new one, huh?
Saggy Stone's got a new brewery. CBC have always been rock stars, and they've got their same brewery, but they're still making epic beers. And Wild Clover, also new brewery. So we actually get to go, and as we'll be releasing some social media and everything as supporting, fun supporting stuff to tell all you boys and girls in beer country the story of these new guys and
Very
the new
exciting.
breweries. Let me put it that way. The guys that have got new breweries and new beers and everything. It really has been a quick epic journey. Super cool.
And what's next for you guys? What do you foresee after December, January?
We have no idea.
No, look, we want to do
Welcome to
season,
my-
yeah, week to week, baby. We want to do season 2. We've been speaking about it. We've done treatments for season 2 and 3 ages ago, but we need to find a proper sponsor because doing what we did last time, as we spoke about earlier, it's hard work and it's not. Yeah,
No.
we're hoping that now the show's been on, there will be some sort of credibility that comes with that.
No, you have to.
If anyone else out there knows anyone or has a really large mattress that has got lots of space with lots of money under it, come and talk to us, please. Yeah, it's one of those things that we'll look at. We've got a couple of people that we're chatting to for season 2. Mm-hmm. There's so much new content, and
It's ridiculous. It's growing. It's growing
crazy.
every day.
But for us, it's all about the story. It's all about being able to tell these stories, and every single craft brewery in South Africa has one, and they're incredible. They're so super cool because we've had to tough it out and fight it out in South Africa, forging and building this industry. It's definitely is. It's blessings, not curses. 100%.
And forgive me for forgetting, but there's a little bit of brine that goes on.
Just a touch.
There's a little bit of brine, a little bit of cooking.
Hey, I mean, it wouldn't be the same if you guys didn't
Well, that's
put a little throw a little chop on the old.
Well, that's the thing,
the old fire.
we got told also, or got advised by one or two guys that have been in the TV game for a long time, that selling a beer show is tough.
Okay.
Selling a food show, easy. So for us, beer became the excuse. Yeah, not that it wasn't before.
That's what we told them.
Yeah, beer's the excuse. And no matter
Only other avenue is porn and
Well,
being married man.
It's so beer's the excuse. It's if we're cooking something, it's with beer,
Yeah.
drinking beer. If we're telling a story, it's about beer. If we're driving somewhere, it's to get beer. That's beer country. Yeah.
Well, guys, well done. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to it.
Thank you.
No,
I'm sure you're only going to watch episode 1.
On repeat. Look, Mom. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope it gets distributed more than just South Africa. So let's hold in thumbs. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well done.
And speaking about distribution,
Where are we going with this?
dude, we do have a little surprise to tell the guys and girls about.
I want you to tell us, but let's say that.
Say
This is what they do on radio shows.
Have we
They-
played any
Save
music
it.
yet?
We don't.
play some music, bro.
No, but this
Everyone's
is
waiting for the music. What are we doing?
no. This is not. I think last week we just had so many beers to go through, and I think we had one session of music, and the ratings went through the
Through
roof.
the roof.
Yeah.
Tastingly going off
yeah.
bananas.
What was I going to say? I don't know. I saw you bought a USB, but I don't know. Wait, maybe there's some there. Okay, well, we'll play a song. But before we do, I need to give a quick shout out to Wayne, who's listening. Wayne won the Rugby Fantasy League. I was in the final with him, and he had a mad round, a fluke round, and he beat me to come number 1. So well done to Wayne. And to the guy who lost, Matthew. The whole thing is you're not supposed to lose in this rugby fantasy league. And he lost.
How does he work?
And the punishment, wait for it,
Yes.
is, and we've all signed documents, he has to legally change his number plate to Moist, Western Province. for one whole year, he has to drive around. And obviously we had a whole bunch of options, but we all felt that
Moist is good.
Moist is a good one. It gets you thinking. It gets the other drivers thinking.
What does he do for a living? Does he make muffins? Or?
Should I pull up next to him, or what will happen? Okay, cool. Let's find some music. What do you guys want to listen to?
Dude, you're going to find it there.
No, I'm gonna connect that next.
Okay, no,
I'll tell you what I'll listen to.
Get it.
You know what?
Bonnie
I really
Psalm.
feel like
Don't let us down, Troy. Come on, bud.
I really feel like this week nothing's gonna get me down. I'm really on top of the world.
All right. I like where you're going with this.
Okay, we'll see you guys after the break. Okay, we are back.
Yay!
And rather than just play any old music, we'll find a good tune. We'll come back to your tune, Greggy. But yeah, I don't want to play. I think the next that was lined up was no, it just wasn't. It wasn't hashtag beer time music.
Good.
What is hashtag beer time music? I don't know. I listen to a whole heap of stuff, but we'll just stop it there. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are, of course, listening to Hashtag Beer Time with me, T-Bone Troy. We're joined in the studio by some good friends, Greg and Carl from Beer Country. What a great bunch of guys. I just want to. No one says that enough.
You're going to make me blush, bro.
No. I think let's give credit where it's due. What a great bunch of guys.
Thank you, sir.
It beats when you walk down the street. Hey, asshole! Not that.
It happens. Yeah. I hear it happens.
Guys, you've been very generous with your beers. I think it's time for me to introduce a beer.
I think you might be right.
Let's have a look. Here we have something that I've had in my fridge, unfortunately, for a while, and that's not good when it comes to IPAs.
Just bringing old beers to the show. Come on, Troy.
Yeah, that's a lesson that I've learned, not to be repeated after today.
Dude, well, I'll tell you what. Here's a lesson for you. I was clearing out my beer fridge the other day, and
It's got a pop to it, eh?
yeah, Friday night making next to the fire.
We got a former.
I don't want any to fall on the studio, otherwise it's. Not that it is, station manager.
Never. Troy is.
Won't you come grab this pop?
Yes, okay.
Okay, well, those two do that, dude. We were busy brying, and in the back of the fridge, I found a Gallows Hill Black IPA from ages ago, brewed in May 2016, and I got to tell you, cracked it, poured it, and was one of the best beers I've had in ages. It was the best surprise that I've had from a beer in a long time.
How are those boys doing at Gallows Hill? I haven't seen them in a while.
Not sure. We bumped into them at the Woodstock Winter Beer Fest.
That was today, a month ago.
A crazy festival that was.
Yeah, we did the two festivals in one day. We did the Darling Winter Fest in the morning.
Crazy.
And Woodstock in the afternoon. And I've got to tell you, talking about the health of the craft beer community, the fact that you can have two successful festivals on the same day. And
absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. And
you said it was pumping at Old Darling.
Pumping at Darling, pumping at Woodstock. Different crowd, different people. And I've got to tell you, the whole of South Africa, black, white, everything in between, up, down, old, young, kids, this, that, everyone. And everyone just there to enjoy good music, great beer. Yeah, it was a phenomenal day.
Carl, what did you think of the time of those festivals?
of those festivals. Darling was amazing. I had a fantastic time there. It was packed, good music. Like Greg says, a lot of different people there. They had their new Rooibos lager, which was great. A couple of old favorites on tap as well. And they also did, I think there was about 5 or 6 smaller breweries there, which is great. So not always the same sort of guys. A lot of the smaller guys, I think Garagista was there, Riot was there. What's the one from Langebaan? Eagle.
Black Eagle.
Black Eagle. They were great.
Flagship
was there.
Long Mountain.
Indie. What was that one?
Mountain Brew.
No, there was another one. Indie something.
Mountain Brewing Co. from Worcester.
Yeah.
With PG.
Yeah.
Who's PG?
Sorry.
Who is this PG?
Am I pronouncing it correctly?
And then the Woodstock one was insane. It was insane. It's probably one of the coolest festivals I've been to in a long time. It's just, I mean, you couldn't move.
Yeah, they do something right there.
I don't know how they do that, but it's working. I like it.
Cheers, gentlemen. So this is. Let me talk a little bit about this beer. This is the Harbour Brewing Company Antipodean IPA. It's brewed in North Cornwall. It's 5.5%. Yickety schmickety.
Is that an official tasting?
That is an official hints of yickety schmickety. And yeah, I think it's just a regular old IPA. Let's I think it is actually, even though it's made in England, it's meant to be an American style.
Definitely, if you're looking at if you're looking at the color, normally on an English IPA, you're getting that kind of jammy, almost amber quality. This is pushing the yellow, golden side of things. Quite hazy.
It's pushing a little bit of a New England style.
Almost, but super hazy.
Yeah.
I think that might just be Troy's fridge.
But it is a little bit old.
You can taste it's a bit flat, but it's delicious.
You know, you usually lose a little bit of the hop aroma. This one's still there-ish. But it's definitely steering away from that English jammy kind of almost perfume quality, earthy hops. This is definitely leaning more to the American side of things.
I think.
Although have another sip, it's pretty tasty.
It's you know I judged the South African National Beer Trophy this Saturday. I think there've been a few days where they've judged different. I mean, they had, I think, over or close to 200 beers entered, so they had to divide the days up and the categories up into different days. So Saturday we judged the IPAs. Unfortunately, it wasn't that great. I was a little bit disappointed. I mean, there were two judging tables, so I'm not sure what the other table had, but I think there was scores weren't that great. I'm not too sure why. I can't disclose who was good and who was bad, but I think in the past, generally what we've seen IPAs come on top because they've got a lot of dank, wet, hoppy notes, and it's just something that we haven't been used to.
Sure.
So maybe our expectation has reached a level where it's like, okay, cool, this is what needs to be produced. And unfortunately, from what we were trying, a lot of the beers fall short.
What was the problem?
I think also you could argue that the beers were handed in a month ago, and they were maybe sitting. We spoke to the organizer. He said they were either in a fridge or in a very cold room, but then someone else said, "Well, doesn't matter because what is the consumer going to try? This is the beer that the consumer is going to try. So you shouldn't. You could say, well, the beer should be fresh from the tap or from the fermenter, but it's all on what the consumer is going to drink. And I just think there wasn't that aggressive hop aroma that you want from an American IPA. And I think that they were all the beers, and I'll say all the big guys as well. They've kind of toned down. I don't know if it's a cost thing or if it's a brewing thing, if it's an error. Unfortunately, it just there weren't any very high scores. A high score is anything over 40.
So, but
40 out of 50.
Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of the guys are starting to use local hops in the IPAs. Could that be a
yes and no?
factor?
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with using local hops.
Okay.
I know that the local hops as over the last year jumped up considerably in terms of popularity internationally, and so there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just think there's not a lot of emphasis placed on the later hopping, the dry hopping, the putting your hops at the end of the boil. And
do you think maybe it's
last week's show we tried a few IPAs, unbelievable, I'm going to say it. Unfucking believable.
Local
and no, these were American ones.
IPAs, okay.
And now we're trying this England, this beer from England. It's probably a few months old,
Well, like I
but
said,
it's
still pretty
it's still
tasty.
pretty tasty.
if the hop aroma on this beer was backed up or anything like the flavor, it would be a home run out the park. So it's your fault, Troy. We blame you.
I hope to make it up. I hope to make up for it with the next beer.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's not go down too much of the other IPA road. Let's go in this direction. This Thursday is IPA Day.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
What is IPA Day, Greg?
What is well, it is a day that I think was started by the beer wench.
Established by the Germans in 1942, they decided to call it IPA Day.
We a whole bunch of the breweries are doing super exciting things.
I've actually,
all around
believe it or
IPA.
not, I've written a list.
I've
come prepared.
Dude, well, I will put this out there. If anyone out there feels like joining us, there's only so many brewers we can visit in one day. If you're outside in the suburb side, Jack Black's got a bunch of stuff going on. I know Greg from Banana Jam and Afro Caribbean.
Free
beer. He's got.
But you said Banana Jam, right?
Yeah. Two
Banana
IPAs,
Jam, yes.
2 IPAs for the day. I think Skate or Die IPA, Crazy Citrus, and Acorn IPA is the name. I don't know.
I love Greg from Banana Jam.
Yeah, I don't know if there's actual acorns in the beer. Maybe you'll just send us a WhatsApp or something.
Let me put a pause there. I'll tell you that I know
Dude, let me get to Woodstock, because Woodstock's going to be the thing.
Jack Black. I'm kind of thinking. I'm planning my route for Thursday.
Are you doing more than one?
I have to. And the one the thing that stood out to me is that Jack Black, they start at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m.
You didn't. I like
So
this.
I'm thinking
I like
about
where you're going.
starting at Jack Black,
Yeah.
working over my way back into town. Jack Black, Banana Jam.
Devil's Peak.
No. Woodstock, because Devil's
okay.
Peak are at
That's
Meet
the
the Brewer
Brewers,
at Beer House. So let me just tell you, let's start from the beginning. Jack Black, the first Thursday in August is celebrated across the globe as IPA Day. We're setting up a special IPA bar in our courtyard that will serve 6 different IPAs from 5 breweries. These include Belgian IPA, English IPA, American IPA, and even some special small batch IPAs brewed just for the occasion. Breweries include Belgian Beer Company SA, and that's a Vedette Belgian IPA. Citizen with a Saboteur English IPA.
Nice.
Jack Black Beer are releasing a Midnight Oil Black Rye IPA. And of course their ever popular Skeleton Coast IPA.
Yeah.
Little Wolf will be there with their big double IPA, double dry hopped double IPA. And our good friend Murray from Metal Lane Brewery will be there with his, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Zythos IPA. And most importantly, entry is free.
Yeehaw.
That's a goodie. And then what's happened at Banana Jam? It is, as you said, they have their Skate or double IPA.
Skate or IPA.
And that, I can't see a time on this, but that's, Banana Jam's
Probably all
open.
day. Yeah.
They're open for breakfast.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not. I don't
Are they?
don't get there for breakfast.
Brunch, more brunch.
So I'll probably pop in around there at about 4ish, and then I'll make my way over to where are we going? To Woodstock for the
6 single hops.
all the single hops.
All the single hops.
Which I must be honest, I'm looking forward to, because let's have a look here. They've got International IPA Day presents all the single hops.
List the hops.
3rd of August, tap room. Doesn't have a time here, but I will be there at 4 or 5. So they better let me know. They've got 6 single hop IPAs. So for those listening, that means that they've made 6 IPAs each with a different hop. If it means anything to you, they have used Yellow Sub, SAB 69, Azaka, Nelson Sauvin, Hull Melon, SAB 108. So they've got a bit of a
Good lineup.
experimentation. I think I've only tried Nelson Sauvin. I haven't tried any of the other hops.
And they're encouraging people to mix it up a bit. Yeah?
Oh.
So, if you want to have,
getting
you want to
messy.
see if
Are
they... Yeah, no, they are. It's,
Did you just make that up?
no.
I don't want the bombers to slap me. Yeah. What are you doing?
Can I have a half and half? I like the grapefruit character of this and the piney character of that. Can I get a boom boom and thanks for playing?
You know, Mark's either going to phone me and say, "What the hell
I
are you
know.
doing?"
Well, listen, Mark, if it's wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it's right.
You know what the best part about this whole thing is? And I think my wife's listening, so I'm just saying it for her.
What's
Isn't
up,
it
Liz?
nice that we don't have 9-to-5 jobs, that we can go and do this on a...
On the other side of the coin, it's,
Thursday.
you need to hustle. You need,
find a job, do you get paid for it? What Troy said.
and then that's going to be a bit of a debaucherous evening. But then afterwards, finish the night off at our good friends at Beer House. Meet the Brewer, 7:30 p.m. Free IPA tasting, and that's got Devil's Peak, Brew Hog, Stellenbosch Brewing Company, Ukamba, Riot, and Drifter. So there's absolutely no excuse for you not to try all the local beers on Thursday.
And,
You won't remember any of it.
Yeah, I
but-
know.
You won't.
You're late. Well, there's another 6 on tap as well as Brewers Co-op.
Yes. That was-
Oh my, I forgot, there's Brewers Co-op.
And that's on the way as well.
That's
so-
on the way. It's literally like
Who's
you could,
driving is my
Yeah,
question. How are we
listen,
doing
one for the road.
If you want to hop in,
We've
Who
got
do you guys use? Who do you guys use?
We've got a driving sponsor because drinking and driving is bad.
It's very bad.
Bad. So one for the road.co.za.
That's what they call one for the
Yeah,
road.
they help us out, old Joffy, and they come and they take your car and drive around for you and drop you off at home afterwards. Someone comes and picks them up. Epic, beautiful, safe, and IPA is definitely looking like a one for the road day. And then if you add to the other guys in Woodstock, you've got Ukamba Brew Works, where we were at the opening. Was last weekend.
I couldn't make that. My apologies to Letu, but
Two
insane.
two IPAs there as well. You've got the State Capture and you've got the Pursuit of Happiness is Black IPA, which we have here today. But I think we're going to have to end on which we're going to have to end on the Black IPA. But the thing is about Letu's opening, and I'll say this out now, is that the support at that opening was incredible.
really,
I don't think I've seen a brewery. I haven't seen a brewery opening like that in a very long
It
time.
was packed.
packed.
Packed
I
up.
think they went through 12 kegs before 8 p.m. Like it was off the chart.
that's good.
Yeah, ridiculous. It's great. It's
I like it when good things happen to good people.
100%.
Letu's always been a genuine guy. Always has a joke. or
No, if
something.
I think we're going to maybe. I promised him, I'm sure, after a bunch of his State Capture IPAs, that I'd make him a tap handle.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a shower head.
Okay. Oh, you're very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so look out for that next time you're at the brewery. Letu, if you're listening, it's on the way. Should we get on to another beer, boys?
Yeah, I think we that can that I bought was only a 340 ml.
It's good.
Well, should we go on to the 500 ml can?
There you go.
It's going back to the States now, or do you want to stay in Europe for a while?
No, let's go. Let's bounce to the
Let's
States.
go. Okay, well, we're going back
Let's
to
cross the Atlantic.
Yeah, back again. We international like that. It's Fremont Brewing Company again from Seattle.
Sure.
Says their tagline is "Because beer matters,"
And beer
this-
does matter.
Beer does matter. Really does.
If only the design of that can mattered.
Oh, don't get me started.
What are you doing?
Just putting a line in the water for Troy.
This is the Interurban IPA. It's inspired by it's an artwork in Seattle called "Waiting for the Interurban."
Okay.
And here's a story for you. It's a group of 5 people standing. It's cast aluminium, as if they were in a bus shelter.
Okay.
And the city of Seattle encourages interactive art with this thing. So you can go and dress it up, dress it down, do this, take wedding photos with it, whatever it is. But it's one of the most famous sculptures in Seattle, and this IPA is inspired by it. I don't know how it's going to affect the beer,
Ah.
but
With a backstory like that, it
with a
can only be
backstory
good.
like that.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Gee, guy.
Bam! So let's put this in a glass. Sure, that is golden IPA territory.
I thought you were going to say it's a bad pour, but hey, that's okay.
Sorry, mate. Okay, let's sort this out.
Because beer matters.
Beer does matter.
It's an interesting choice of line.
Okay, let's get this in there.
Yeah.
Cool, so that's it. 500 ml can, 3 glasses. Here you go, boys.
Thank you.
I'm
thank
loving
you.
the
Cheers.
the glassware, Troy.
Yeah, I try.
Must
thank you
say,
for-
the
thank you
experience
for
is
the glass,
heightened.
Guys, the glass helps, eh?
Nothing,
Yeah,
is,
totally,
nothing
yeah.
but glass, bro. Nothing but glass.
It's ribbed for our pleasure. It is, guys.
He's
Yeah.
literally, he's not lying.
Yeah, the bottom of the glass is ribbed It's
And Troy is
one of my
stroking
favorites. Yeah, very. Yeah, I should probably stop.
very. Stop doing that, man. Greg's getting.
Why you guys all blushing? Let's drinky.
Drinky poo.
Ooh,
Okay.
you can definitely smell the dankness. Eh? It's the wet hop coming through.
Okay, well, let me, while you guys are busy snorting and grunting and drinking and all the rest of it. Interurban IPA offers the adventurous beer lover a warm embrace of Northwest Pale Malt swirled with a hand-selected blend of Chinook, Centennial, and Amarillo. There you go.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's not bad, eh?
Got a bit of a graininess to it at the end of the taste there.
I'd say definitely you get the grain, you get the malt. Up front, I'm finding not so much, like quite a bit of citrus and grapefruit, but more kind of orange as opposed to lemon or lime or anything like that. Definitely a little bit of pine from those American hops coming through. 100%. Not the biggest IPA we've ever had, although it is
Let's
sitting
have
at
a sip.
6.2% and 80 IBUs.
Okay.
I think the one we had before was I don't know if I'd say it was bigger, but it was.
This
No, that's
this
it.
feels like it has a bit of a grainy, I don't want to say watery, but a less sweet, less fuller kind of taste. And actually,
It's quite bitter though.
these are the beers that actually stuff you up because you think, oh, this is such a light beer. Oh, I'll have another one.
Well, I mean, if this is sitting at...
Where's
80
Troy? He's gone.
I mean, if this is sitting at 80 IBUs, that's big, but it doesn't taste like it.
That's pretty
Yeah.
hefty, eh?
It is a...
It's not hefty in mouthful, but it's like
It's definitely got a higher bittering note than other beers we've had. Maybe I don't know if that's because the sweetness is not as high to mask that bitterness, but I can definitely I'm getting more. The aftertaste is a little bit more bitter.
I prefer the other beer. The other favorite one.
I will agree with you. I enjoyed the other beer. Not that this is.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the other
Well,
one.
I mean, these guys, their flagship beer, and I've seen pictures sent from the States as teasers. You know you are. Oberon is their Belgian wheat ale. And
Okay.
that I think is their...
The Game of Thrones character.
Yeah, something like that. That I think... is
Speaking
their
about Game of
flagship beer.
Thrones, let's give away all the spoilers.
There's nothing worse than someone who does a Facebook
blurts out what happened.
and says something. I'm like, but why? I don't want to watch. Anyway,
Well, I mean, we spoke about IPA Day now. We've got International Beer Day on Friday. Definitely going to be lighting a fire then. And I think it's pretty much turned into, for a lot of people, International Beer Weekend. A lot of breweries are actually just taking it pretty much from the 3rd all the way through the weekend to Sunday. One of the breweries doing that and supporting the other guys is CBC.
we will most certainly get into that.
There's big handbrakes on this show.
We've got another hour.
Let me segue Greg over here.
The one you remind me of my first episode where I said everything in the first 10 minutes and I still had another hour and 50 minutes to go. No, we do want to talk about that.
How about another song?
But we missed out on a whole day. We missed out on International Beer Day.
Look, I think International Beer Day is.
It's kind of like
International Hangover Day, surely, because like the day before.
Does anyone know why they put International Beer Day the Friday after the Thursday of IPA Day?
I think IPA Day. Didn't she start it after International Beer Day had happened? It was the beer wench.
Regardless,
I think it's clever on her part.
Tell us why, Troy. We're all about education. Come on.
Get out the old Google.
Yeah, have you Googled it already? Or? No, I actually don't know, but it's clever on her part.
I know it's obviously an American thing.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, because well, I'm almost 90% sure.
Like you have the answer.
No, I'm pretty sure someone explained it to me once, or I read it somewhere, but
Okay, well.
it's like a
Nice,
train.
you
It's
sold
like a
me.
train. It just goes in and out. But I will be able to come up with an answer in the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, so they've got International Beer Day, which I must just point out, South Africa had their first National Beer Day this year,
Yes, they did. Yes.
the 4th of February,
February sometime, yeah.
and that was. I mean, when I first got into the homebrewing club, Southeasters, we'd constantly be talking about it as a committee. Guys, we need to have a National Beer Day, and we could never really find a date. We sent out. I think I started making surveys about when we should have a beer day, but thank goodness it started this year. We've got one. 4th of February is National Beer Day. Mm-hmm. But still, I'm not going to celebrate International Beer Day this Friday. And what is happening? I don't think there is a lot happening on Friday.
It seems to be everybody.
As you said, there's a little bit of a hangover.
Yeah, they get into IPA day madness, and then nothing really
They
happens.
wake up and feel like a squirrel took a poop in the mouth after eating a hop field.
Is anyone actually doing anything? It's a very good
No,
question.
I'm sure that they are, and I'm sure we'll find it when the next song comes on and we all Google it.
Yeah.
But listen, the one thing we will definitely be doing is lighting a fire and having a braai and everything like that. I think that is definitely.
So if anyone wants to braai, Greg's address is.
Yeah.
It went from a lamb chop to a full lamb in about 5 seconds.
That's
That's
it.
not a bad idea.
Let's do it. I'm in.
No, I'm keen.
Any excuse, huh? Absolutely.
This is sounding good.
Yeah, it is sounding good.
Should we take another little music break, and in that time we can go to use the little boys' room. We could use Google, come up with some facts for the show, and give the audience what they want. Greg, I'm having difficulty loading the song onto this program.
that's
I will get there. I will learn how to use it, but in the meantime, let's play. Ooh. We've got some songs here, but let's just play this one.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
I could find it, I'm sure.
That's right.
No, okay, guys, we'll see you. We'll see you after the break. We'll see you now. Ciao. Yes, on Two Oceans Vibe Radio, we encourage you to touch yourself because it's healthy.
Where are you going with it?
I don't know. Welcome back to Hashtag Beer Time.
Keep the house clean.
We're in the studio with the guys from Beer Country, Greg and Carl. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How you doing? Are you fine? Are you good? Are you great?
Yeah, I'm better now that you found your way to playing some Sublime.
Played some Santeria.
Thank you, my boy.
I actually enjoyed that song. And we said to the listeners when we were back, we'd have some answers for you. And I'm happy to report that we have fuck all answers for you. Because we do not know why IPA Day is so close to Beer Day. I'm going to assume, and that's what I do on this show, is that one came first. It's like the chicken or the egg. And someone else thought, well, let's just put it on the same day next to it so we can drink more beer.
Double whammy it.
I have no idea what the thought process was behind it. But if anyone out there genuinely knows the answer, please message me or Greg and Cole. And if you don't have either of our numbers, tough, I guess. Tough for us, tough for the listeners.
Yeah.
But I do know that there's a Skype. You can log into Skype. That would be nice if we could talk to someone. Maybe we should try and phone
Let's phone Murray. Let's phone Murray. Come
phone
on.
Murray.
Oh.
We'll phone a friend.
We'll phone a friend. So welcome back, obviously, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have you listening. If you've missed out, we've been talking about IPAs because it's IPA Day on Thursday, and there are a whole bunch of places doing a whole bunch of things. And I think what's looking like a good itinerary for me right now is Jack Black from 1 p.m., Banana Jam from 3, Brewers Co-op from 5, Woodstock from 6, Beer House from 7. I'm going to get there later. Beer House from 8.
Now add 5 hours to all of that. 'Cause you know how these things go. And then we're in the
And no
ballpark.
doubt some calls from the missus, which will last a while. So that's the itinerary for Thursday. There's lots happening. If you want to find out more, you can obviously go onto all the brewers' Facebook pages. They've advertised. That's where I got all the information from. back to the show.
That is a hell of an itinerary. Like, I want to be. I'm almost tempted to come with you just to see if we all make it.
I had
like, aren't we going?
No.
Like, of course we're going.
yeah, no, you have to. Maybe we should make it an official thing.
But that's what. And everyone should. Let's make it like a tour.
Let's make it a tour.
Let's make it a thing.
Right here, right now. Let's do it.
Who's got a bus?
Boom.
No, but we organize
bus.
Uber XL.
Ah, this guy's thinking.
And
Radical self-reliance, dude. Like lots of people, lots of tours. Let's get 30, 40 people. Let's open to everyone.
Yeah, let's not think small. Let's think big.
Let's not think small, bro.
Let's meet at Jack Black at 1.
Yeah.
My God.
This is gonna go so well.
It's like 1 o'clock now, and I'm just thinking. No, but no, you know what? This is a special day, guys.
I'm excited.
We're professionals.
It's the Christmas of beer,
It is. And it would be wrong of us.
and beer is a religion to some.
Yes.
So I think we do need to respect that.
That's basically a religious holiday, man.
My word. Yeah, sure.
Our Lord and Savior, IPA.
Take some. What do you call it? Some rehydrates. The day. I'm gonna start now with my rehydrates. No, so let's do that. Let's start 1 o'clock at Jack Black.
I'm there.
I'm there. I'm keen.
Tasting League.
Tasting League.
Assemble.
I know we got some people listening who would be keen. If you're not doing anything, flip the dude. Oh, we've got some music playing in the background. Oh, the Carl, this is.
This is my tune.
This is your tune.
Hey, how did you know?
I think it's about 60 beats per minute. Oh, look at it go.
It's not Paul Jam, but hey, I'll take it.
Okay, let's just cut that right off.
Susanna Hoff.
Eternal Flame, man.
Eternal Flame. Eternal Hops, guys. So Thursday we meet at Jack Black at 1 o'clock, and we just wing it.
Yeah.
Let's just go from there.
We had an itinerary, now we wing
Now we wing it.
You know what?
Let's have another beer.
Let's. I probably shouldn't say this.
You can see it brewing.
Yeah, you
in
can
his
see
head.
my head brewing.
The hamster wheel is spinning.
We said it last week. We put in the horse before the cart, but
That's what we do.
but I'm pretty sure I can organize us a few freebies.
Yeah.
Like let's.
Dude, the horse is so far in front of the car.
Do you remember Wayne's World 2?
I do.
Where he put together this whole concert and he hadn't even asked the musicians
If you build it.
if you build it, they will come.
They will come.
There we go. So, if there are any breweries listening, we are going to be at your brewery on Thursday, namely Jack Black, Banana Jam, Brewers Co-op, Woodstock Brewery, and and Beer House.
Massive social media.
If hashtag Beer Time is there with the posse, I think that deserves a free jug, a free round.
Something, absolutely.
Come on. Come on.
Dude, the cart is so far in front of the horse can't even see the cart anymore. Let's do it.
But come on, this is great. This is what social media, this is what marketing is all about. Okay, before we get too carried away and I get a phone call from everyone, let's talk about. So Friday we're going to take a nice chill day by the braai and drink a light sessioned quadruple. And Saturday, what's happening Saturday, boys? If the fun hasn't ended, then we're just carrying on.
I'm glad you asked, Troy.
Please tell us what's happening.
We got a little invite from the guys at CBC to do the CBC Tap Takeover. It's one of the events. It's Tap Takeover number 4.
I was going to say that I've seen a few.
Yes, there've been a bunch, and it's all about spreading the gospel of craft beer and
Amen.
Amen, hallelujah. And we're there with a couple of good friends, a couple of great breweries. It's ourselves. We've got the one beer, Mood Coffee, that we brew with Fraser, and then there's Devil's Peak, there's Ager, there's Hoghouse, and there's Steadies. So five great breweries.
What are you guys bringing to the table?
Well, we're bringing the Mood Coffee and the Gears, there's Skulls, there's everything else. But the one beer that we will be serving, the tasters are free. They've usually got about 800 people through the door there. The tasting stations are set up in the brewery. All the brewers are there. It's open for chats. It will be a phenomenal day. CBC has obviously got all of their beers that are available in the tap room. And for tasting as well. There'll be merchandise, there'll be this, there'll be that. It'll be a great day.
Well,
Wow.
well, if
Wow,
if
fancy
you
that.
if you guys thought you'd got rid of me on just after Thursday nights, you'll be happy to know that I will be passing
Yeah.
that way.
well,
I've managed to organise a weekend away, and just so happens to stumble upon old CBC. Babe, look. Babe, look, it's Greg and Carl. We're gonna go say hi. So I will be there for a little sneaky.
Awesome.
Perfect. We
a
appreciate
sneaky,
you, bro.
A sneaky little.
Taste
something.
A
A
little
sneaky
taste
little something. No, but I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing our good friend Wolfgang.
Yeah, absolutely.
We still need to get him on the show. That would be
That'd be good.
It'd be interesting.
interesting.
Brave. Powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, his.
Don't have anything around you can chop a knife into, like
You don't want him to taser you. No, but he'll most likely be bringing some of his stronger beers. I would imagine he would. I'm looking forward to trying the Oktoberfest. Don't they have what's their lager at the moment? So is it a Harvest lager?
Well, they usually do. Yeah,
It's a Harvest lager now, hey?
Yeah. I haven't seen it now.
I actually tasted it the other day at the last tap takeover, but I can't remember. I think it was Harvest Lager.
Oh my goodness. That's
But I mean, it's getting to that
If I
time
get it
where
wrong,
they,
it was
where they,
Oktoberfest.
where they
Yeah.
start releasing all of those like sexy seasonal beers, like their Oktoberfest beer, Red Weiss, all of that stuff usually comes out. And you know, at the last Meet the Brewers, old Wolf did mention. I promise you, that's Troy's jacket zip. Wolfgang did mention a Brewmaster series from CBC. So I think we're going to be looking at, probably possibly brewed with their friends at Tuk Tuk, with Deelwald and them, who knows, or brewed, I suppose, at CBC. Brewmaster series, so a lot of small batch, little speciality beers, which is going to be fun. You know, getting the brewers that really know what they're doing. Wolfgang's obviously, I think, one of the legends of South African craft beer. And
Most definitely.
Having a little bit of fun and playing around and getting some small batch stuff out there.
When's that happening?
More better beer. I think it's, he didn't
On the
say-
cards for this later this year?
Oh, he didn't say when exactly, but it is on the cards and it will be this year. So I think I'm going to leave the rest up to CBC because I don't want to say.
Will we see you guys?
Unless you've given everything away.
No, well, listen, it's all out there.
I'm jumping ahead here, but will we see you guys at the Cape Town Festival Beer? First week of December?
You said it earlier. I'm going to say it now. Fuck yeah!
You couldn't keep us away. Mainly because we have.
We won Stand of the Year last year, so
Oh, really?
we do have some allocated real estate there already, which is great.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
You guys created a bit of hype. You were heading out, was it shots of
Beer Country Chili Challenge.
Chili Challenge.
Yeah, it was unpleasant for all involved,
It was phenomenal to watch.
but it was
There's-
great content.
Yeah, there's nothing quite as funny as watching someone else cuck by their own choice. You know, we didn't force a
I
chicken.
think we might have to do
it.
it. How do we not do it again?
How do we not do it again?
We just need stricter rules. No puking bar stand. Yeah.
But
Things
that
are
said, I mean, we've got to make a big noise there. We're going to see whether we can't kind of get Martin to let us put the Land Rover into the tent and set up-
Martin's pretty flexible.
Yeah.
He'll be chill with it. Martin, if you're listening,
that's all the yoga.
I know Murray's probably listening. Murray, who was on the show last week, who handles all their social media.
Yeah,
We've got a good understanding.
yeah. It's,
Murray, come. Let the boys play.
In a corner there, in a corner, a little thirsty setup.
It is, and here's the segue for you. Oh, good. I love it when a plan comes together. It is the weekend before Beer Country goes live on South African TV.
Sure.
So we will have TV screens there, and just a little sneak preview. There are a couple of collab beers coming out.
Haven't even gone there yet.
Yeah, there are a couple of collab beers coming out that we've been talking to some of the breweries that were featured in the show.
Very nice.
And it might just look like a League of Beers December mix case.
But before we get into that, how about
Yes.
we pour another beer?
Let's pour another beer. Okay,
Let's
so
pour another beer.
we said we'd go back across the Atlantic.
Yes. To mother.
Wait, hold on. And now let me open the beer bag. Ooh. Ooh, what's
That's a big beer, Troy.
That is a big beer. This is I think it's a 660 ml can.
Magnum.
What says here 1 pint, 568 mils. This is a I'm going to try and pronounce it right, Volvas Engelmann Posolio Skuneai IPA India Pale Ale limited supply. It is a beer all the way from Lithuania.
And its name seems to be the Duck Flies West at Midnight, or however bad Troy's Lithuanian is.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's not too sharp. But the one noticeable thing about this, it's a beautiful can, it's tall, it's elegant, it's definitely bigger than a 500ml, but it's also got a foil covering. Try and picture a yogurt, one of those yogurt cups that you get. You get the yogurt cups and you got to peel the foil away. This is exactly that. You've got
Like an Amstel, but on
and
can.
I like that because you know what you do when you get a Coke or you get a beer can, you clean the top if you're going to drink straight from a
All
can.
the mouse droppings and
Exactly. So if let's unwrap this.
It's thoughtful. I mean,
Let's
be
do
honest.
this foil. It's a lot of effort, Calvin.
There you go, one piece.
Cool.
Now that is clean.
That is an elegant can.
It is very elegant.
It's beautifully designed.
There's a lot going on there. Yo,
Yeah.
you can see from there. Sure.
Bit of a spicy hop going on here.
Oh,
shit.
get it in the glass. Get it in the glass. Don't want to waste that Lithuanian gold.
No,
There we go, gents. Hop yourself.
thank you, my friend.
Look at that.
I mean, if there was ever any doubt that it's an IPA, those are some capital letters on the
Those are that's a big I, that's a big P, and a big A.
We should take a photo of this. It is quite cool.
Okay.
By we, I mean you.
I wonder if it's an English style or an American style. I'm actually leaning towards
English.
English just because of its spicy nose. Bit of an earthy complexion, so that does say to me.
Ah, thank you, sir.
What's up?
These bigger cans.
Across the table. Cool.
Bigger cans.
Okay.
Cheers, gents.
Cheers, man.
Let's give it a try.
Sure, that is definitely leaning towards the English side of things. That's almost spicy and effervescent.
It is very spicy, and I would actually say this is not an IPA. This falls more under a pale ale. This, if we go back to that Sierra Nevada,
Yeah. It's very tasty, but I don't think it's an IPA.
Wow.
It's like, compared to kind of where we just came from.
I mean, that's definitely got
read the alcohol there.
That's definitely got a more European
6%. Yeah, limited supply. I think they meant hops or the beer.
This is, this is definitely a. I mean, when you have a strong beer, and then you go to something anything lighter, whether it's
Yeah, for
IBUs or alcohol, it's going to taste like a Pilsner or a lager. And that's actually what I thought when I was drinking this. Like,
I think it's very nice though. Like
Yeah, very.
it tastes like a
don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
English,
Man, what is?
like an English pale ale.
Man,
It's got a bit of a candy floss note to it, a little bit of
dude, that's
sugary.
it's candy.
They say caramel malts on there, and
It's got a bit of a
It's spicy and candy.
sweet, yeah.
Dude, I've got the perfect song for this.
oh, don't.
And I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Here comes the cheese.
No,
It's not cheesy. It's not cheesy. But definitely a spicy candiness in the snout. Not a lot of bitterness on this beer at all. Like,
absolutely not. It's as I was saying, you might struggle actually to be compared to a pale ale like that Sierra Nevada.
It's like an English pale.
But what's nice is that it's fresh, it's made well, and I think
there's malt complexity there. I mean, it's definitely got a backbone, jammy. Yeah. Cool.
I'm happy I bought it.
Oh, I think it's tasty, man. Nice experience.
I don't know if you guys listened to last week's show, but the one thing that I found quite strange in Russia is that it's very difficult to buy craft beer in your supermarkets, your shops, your Pick and Pays, your Roulants. There's nothing like that. They've got you can go in and you can buy your big beers, your Heinekens, your
What's their sort of
Budweiser.
lager? What's their?
I mean,
they've got a lot of Budweiser.
But they don't have like a Russian version?
Yeah, what about
Yeah,
like,
they've got one or two, but it's not anything to write home about.
Okay.
what about where you usually do your shopping, like street corners, under bridges, all that kind of stuff?
in Cape at the flea markets. No.
At the breweries.
But yeah, what was quite strange, I don't know if it's a law or regulation there, but yeah, I couldn't go and buy. You'd go into your places, your bars and your restaurants, like Beer House, and you'd drink your beer there, and like, cool, I want to go buy this beer somewhere now. But you couldn't go buy that beer. You had to actually buy it at the restaurant.
So what you're saying is it's right for a league of beers.
If you listen, Rob. So
That's interesting.
what's you could see that as cool beer, and the restaurants were allowed a dual license system, so they could have on trade, off trade.
Okay.
But unfortunately, when you'd sold that beer, it would be at the price at the restaurants.
Nice. Okay.
So there'd be that markup.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. Like, I thought, cool, these beers are great that I'm trying in the restaurant. Let me go find a few cans to bring back home. That'd obviously be a lot cheaper, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was forced to buy
Expensive.
restaurant price beers.
Expensive.
Wow.
So, for example, a restaurant price beer would be anything from 75 to 100 rand.
Yeah.
So that's a bit.
Yeah, it's steep.
It's not
Especially when you don't
from
know
what I
what
hear,
you're
it's not
getting.
as steep as maybe the States. It's kind of around about there. But if you go into a bottle shop, I mean, I think I got this beer for $20.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I suppose the thing at the States though is you kind of know what you're getting because you will know a lot of the bigger brewers. In Russia, I would imagine, unless you're Googling around. Yeah.
Yeah, this beer was one of those beers where I was just like, that can looks nice. Oh, cool, let's get it. And luckily it's tasty.
Yeah, it's tasty. Wolf Mas Engelman.
But I would recommend a trip. Anyone listening, I would recommend a trip to Russia.
It seems like such I know it's a different country, but it feels like another world. Russia. It's not like it's on anyone's destination.
I'm pretty sure that what my perception was is what everyone's perception is still now. And you can take that perception and turn it upside down.
Really?
Because I thought both St. Petersburg and Moscow were very European. It's very efficient, both very efficient cities. They've got the World Cup soccer there next year.
Yes.
So they've definitely jacked themselves up. And flip. I mean, there's bars, there's beers. I mean, the one place we went to in Moscow, we stayed close to like a walkway, I suppose you could call it like the equivalent of a fan walk or something like that. A shopping mall kind of thing, St. George's Mall kind of vibe.
Yeah.
We stayed close to one of those, and there was this one place called the Red Eric craft beer bar. They had 3 levels of. It was small. It was smaller than Beer House, but they had 3 levels, and on every level they had 16 to 20 taps.
Jeez.
Wow.
So they're close to 60 beers,
That's pretty good.
and they were busy, and they were just going through beers, and it was.
You didn't visit any breweries, eh?
No, we looked, we walked past some, but it wasn't.
Inviting.
Yes. Get out.
Yeah, looking at you through the
I think
the
that
blinds.
translates as no. And also some of the breweries where they weren't in the middle, so it's a bit of a mission to get to.
Hospitality.
No, but the hospitality was great, I thought. And yeah, I was amazed at some of the beers that they're coming out with.
Well, I mean, I think
My wife was drinking sour beers left, right, centre, because when you go into a beer bar, they only serve beer. There's only beer. You can't get
Fantastic.
a wine. You can't get a cocktail. A beer bar is a beer bar. You're going in there for a beer. Same with the wine bar. You're not going to get a beer in there. But yeah, I was amazed. My wife was just smashing through those sour beers.
Wow.
Ghost beers, everything. I was actually getting a little bit jelly because I was trying my IPAs and my dark porters and stouts. But yeah, I think that their level of brewing is great. So this segment was sponsored by Russian Tourism. Russian Tourism, you're more than welcome to contact me. I wouldn't mind going back again.
Well, I mean, I think there might be something to be said about the, Umpy from Wild Clover said it when we were filming there a while back. He said, there's no real craft beer in Europe. There's just good beer, and it's been happening for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's a awakening of craft beer there, sure. But I think you say the lack of availability on shelves and everything like that. If that's where the whole phrase of "pint your best" comes from, you walk into the pub and that's what you say, and you get handed a beer, and that's what you get. And if a little bit of that culture is coming through, and you're getting beer bars with 60 taps, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I do want to add to that, like a little bit down the road, like 50 meters down the road, there'll be another bar. Maybe not with as many taps, but it'll have 10 taps.
Different beers?
Different beers.
Amazing.
And then another 50 meters down the road, another 10 taps. And I was like, wow, how is this sustainable? Like, this just goes against everything. As a former beer salesman, you can't go into a restaurant and just put as many taps as you want because it's just not going to sell. But over there,
It's a lot of people in
you've
Russia.
got a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, and I think there are a lot more people with money to spend.
And they're just drinking the sorrows away because that's such a horrible place. I'm joking.
I only had one vodka while I was over there. I thought I'd be smashing the vodkas,
Yeah.
but
Is that just a stereotype then?
I think it's a
Perpetuated by bad memes.
massive stereotype.
Vin Diesel
The beer pairs well with soup.
Also, maybe in winter,
cabbage soup.
older generation kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Craft beer.
And also the top glasses are 50 mils.
Yeah.
So when I ordered, I said one vodka, please. I ordered around, but they came in 50 mil glasses. What the fuck? No, you're sitting there with this drink that you need to shoot.
And it's just a little bit bigger than one swallow.
Yeah, it's unpleasant. Where were we? Back to this beer.
Yes.
Delicious.
Spice and candy.
Wouldn't call it an IPA, but I'll definitely buy a few of these and drink them around the pool, drink on the fire. It's a sessionable pale ale.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I think that there's it's a little bit nice, not nice. It's comforting to see that there are international breweries making this era as well.
Sure.
And from what I said about the Saturday beer judging session that I did at the South African National Beer Champs, a lot of the IPAs were not up to that level of IPA bitterness, hop aroma. They didn't tick all the boxes of what an IPA should be. Did they tick a box of a pale ale? Damn straight. So, the beers didn't have too many faults in them, but they just weren't what an IPA should be.
Do you think that's guys being safe nowadays? Because there seems to be this trend going towards, everyone sort of not like dumbing things down a bit to make it more sessionable and drinkable.
I don't think it's safe. It might be it could be a cost thing.
Sure, always.
But
I mean, to make a really big IPA, to drink more than one of them, you need to really be committed to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I found with a lot of the guys in Joburg is they make super easy drinking beers. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's kind of what they've,
maybe
that's the plan.
what's happened is that maybe they're the ones who've seen a lack of uptake. Maybe they have actually made their first session IPA their first batch of IPAs were hoppy and according to style, and there wasn't an uptake. So maybe they have toned it down to a more sessionable IPA.
For sure.
So maybe it's not the brewer's fault. Maybe it's the consumer's fault. The public who don't want to drink this hoppy, bitter beer and would rather drink this lighter version of a sessionable IPA.
Because a lot of the big IPAs have also changed over the years.
Yeah, we can say it. We can say Devil's Peak has changed.
I didn't want to say that, but yes.
I will say it. I love the guys from Devil's Peak.
Of course, but Blockhouse has changed radically, and it's still fantastic beer.
I think they've dropped.
But it's a big drop.
They were 60 something IBUs. Now they've gone into the 50s.
Into the
It's still delicious beer.
It's still a benchmark beer.
Still a benchmark
Absolutely.
to measure.
That was my first IPA. ever, actually, was a King's Blockhouse.
I remember.
In the 500 ml with like
Oh, that good old 500.
hand-drawn
Was it?
label,
I think it was
whatever
Murray
was.
Middleton from last week. He said when he first tried it, he thought there was something wrong with it, and he took it back to JC. He was like, "No, there's something wrong with this beer," and I think he just wasn't used to the.
JC go, listen, son.
Yeah, listen. Come sit in my lap, boy.
There's only two types of people in this world. There's people that love IPA and people that don't know they love it yet. You know?
Well said.
Especially before IPA day.
I must admit, I think maybe even, I'd say 2 years ago, I wasn't even on the fence. I was like, no, I'm definitely not an IPA person.
This is cuck.
Yeah, I'm not. Cool. You guys can go drink your IPAs, but I'm a sugar man. I'm a sweet guy. I like my malts.
Okay. A bit of amber ale.
Yes, give me amber ale. Give me a porter stout any day. And I will actually say that I'm still like that, but I'm definitely growing to the.
No, I've seen it happen
IPA.
to so many people. My other brother, Tony, you guys don't know what you're talking about. This stuff is so cuck. Now his favorite beer, the only beer he drinks, is IPA. So it happens.
Let's take.
We blame Blockhouse.
We're gonna take a quick break.
Yes, toilet break.
Toilet
please.
break before we get into our last beer, and the time has just flown by. But what did we say that previous beer smelled like? Smelled a bit like candy. Spice and candy.
Spice and candy.
It smells like spice and candy. So let's play something that smells like spice and candy. We'll see you guys after the break. Don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the last segment of Hashtag Beer Time on this Tuesday, the 1st of August. Thank you, Slim Shady. You can sit down. We're done with you. If you've just joined us, sorry for you, but you've missed out on a great show. We've got 15 minutes left before we need to get booted out and move on with our day.
Yeah.
Because when you're freelancing, you need to hustle. Let's actually turn this music off.
There we go.
Greg and Carl from Beer Country. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on for a second. So I've had fun. We've had fun. We've drank a lot of beer. We've drank a lot of good beer.
Absolutely.
We drank a few beers that maybe weren't according to their style.
We learned some things.
We learned some things. We learn and we evolve. But
Well, I'll tell you what, we drank a lot of international beer, so I think it's time we get local.
should we finish on a local?
Let's get local.
Let's get local.
Let's get local and lekker. So what we're dealing with here is...
Tell me.
Brand new brewery. He's just opened up. He was at the Brewers Cup, I think, for a while. It is Letu and Ucumber.
Letu, what's a champ?
Black IPA. The pursuit of hoppiness. Big beer. Thanks for taking that glass up out of there, Troy.
Welcome.
Put that in your glass for you.
Very welcome.
And let's
Thank
sort
you.
this out. Oh,
Oh.
board that a little bit better.
There you go.
Yeah,
Straight.
we like I said, we went to Letu's opening this past weekend, and it was incredible. It was phenomenally well attended. It's all good. Went through piles and piles of beer, and I think it bodes really, really well for craft beer South Africa that you're seeing these kind of events and these kind of small breweries being supported like that. It is.
Oh.
Incredible, but what's better than anything is Letu's backing it up with great beer. Letu's backing it up with great beer, which is super cool.
Well done. I like it when these things happen. So yeah, I wish him nothing but the best of luck. Now he's located in Woodstock,
What's the old Riot?
the old Riot
Yeah.
Brewery, which is at the Palm Kloof Center.
100%.
Palm, I think that's right, and that's near Searle Street.
Yeah.
On the corner, yeah.
Yes, so if you want to go visit, I'm sure he'll be more than willing to open his doors and pour you a beer.
If he's recovered from the,
If he's recovered
the
from last
opening.
weekend.
Oh, really? Was it a bit of a biggie?
It was, yeah.
So this is the black IPA. What makes it a black IPA?
Well, number one, the color, you can see it straight away. And this is dark as Darth Vader's jockstrap. It is super black. But you're getting a lot of you're getting quite a little bit of the roasty flavor coming through in the malt. It is a brutal beer. I mean, we spoke about a couple of the IPAs being a little bit tamed down today from the international perspective. This is not that.
powerful.
It's very powerful, very bitter. A little bit of criticism I will give to Leto if he's listening. He needs to move a lot of his hop bill. So the hops that he puts into his beer, he needs to move a little bit later towards the end of the boil. Yeah, because I think this is generally the feedback that we gave to a lot of the brewers on Saturday. The beers were bitter, which is good for an IPA, but they needed that hop aroma
The flavor and the aroma.
to come through the nose.
Yeah.
And so that's something I'm picking up. Otherwise, it's a very well-made beer.
Roasty, toasty, completely.
You smell actually a little bit of chocolates and coffee.
Yeah. It's like a burnt braaibroodjie on the fire. It's delicious. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, so what? We got like 12 minutes left, so we're going to use this to...
We have 11 minutes
11
and 10
minutes left.
seconds
So we-
left.
and we've
I do
got-
want to just point out that
Yes.
my friend Stefan from Little Wolf,
Yeah.
he's going to be there at Jack Black on Thursday, and apparently they are keeping their stands there for Friday. Jack Black's doing another kind of thing where they're going to have the same stand, same beers, but they're going to add maybe some other beers and stuff like that.
Okay, so double.
So if you guys want to meet at 1 o'clock on Friday,
Whammy!
just got to sleep for 12 hours on Thursday nights, and we just go straight back into it.
No, dude, it's good that we can tap out a little bit on... tap out a little bit on... Friday. Because we've got to be fresh and wakker
Fresh for
and
Saturday.
lekker for CBC on Saturday. Definitely have our pouring shoes on for Saturday. So it's all good. It's good that IPA is the day, and then beer day is next. But it's all things considered, at least a 3-day beer weekend. Hallelujah! Yay!
And I'm trying to think.
What?
You know that it's InterVarsities this Saturday, this weekend.
No.
In Paul.
I did not know that.
I also but luckily CBC is on the other side of the mountain, but it's still considered Paul, and it's still going to be busy AF.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
what time does it start on Saturday?
10 to 3. 10 to 3.
10. Okay, I'm going to try and get there at
1 minute past 10.
9:45.
Yeah, we'll see you there. We'll see you for
Scratching
setup.
on the window, breathing, misting up. Hey guys, let me in. I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
2 more things to talk about.
Tell me.
For the last 10 minutes.
Talk to
One,
me.
and we alluded to it earlier. Guys and girls, watch out for the League of Beers December mixed case coming out at the same time as Beer Country as the show.
That comes out, correct me if I'm wrong, end of November when
Well, 2nd of December, but yeah, the mixed case will be the December mixed case.
it's not like a magazine where it comes out
No.
3 months earlier. December issue available in October.
But there are a couple of, we as Beer Country are kind of curating the case, and
Yeah.
we've done a couple of collabs that are going to go in there.
Yeah.
Obviously our one with Fraser, which we're very proud of.
Yep.
One with Darling, it's one with Wild Clover. I think we might sneak a little bit of a CBC Brewmaster in there. And then the very last beer that we brewed on Beer Country, which was in a dusty parking lot in a windstorm on a fire at Ronnie's Sex Shop. With Greg and Mitch and Sean
I
from
remember that.
Afro-Caribbean. We've
Back when Sean and Greg were skinny.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. We've
I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble for that one.
And I think we're going to be, there's potential to put it in cans, and we're going to brew it with the guys from Saggy Stone as well on their new brewery that they've got out there. So it's going to end up being a really exciting mixed case. A lot of stuff that you're not going to get again.
Completely
that-
unique mixed case.
Yeah,
Let's
and that
not beat
might
around
be,
the bush.
Yeah, let's not beat around the bush. And it might be, you might find, if you are lucky and go to the Cape Town Festival of Beer, to see a couple of those beers on tap.
Will we get to see you guys at the Cape Town Festival Beer in person?
I'm going to be there.
That is, ladies and gentlemen, that's something just worth buying a ticket for. That, never mind the beer. You know, you
Come eat a habanero at our stand. We'll give you a free beer. Free half
and a hug and a hug.
yeah.
You know, you don't want to
Yeah,
get some
maybe.
unsavory characters, ones in hugs.
Everyone just wants to play with Cole's beard. Really. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna actually print a
that's
T-shirt this year that says something.
not your pet.
Don't face molest me or something.
Oh no, you should be more direct and just say fuck off.
Yeah. No, you can't touch it. Yes, it took a while to grow.
Yes.
Unless
then-
you are super hot.
Yeah.
My wife's not listening to this.
And then there you go. Well, actually, now that you've actually just mentioned Liz, we forgot to say thank you to the two ladies when we said thank you to everyone else
Yes.
for putting up with our uphill in beer country for the last 2 years. Thanks, Candice. Thanks, Lizzie. We're just going to put that out there. 100%.
Points. You just got
Point.
yourself 100 points right there.
No, easy.
You guys can do whatever you want on Thursday.
Could we have a tuck
You know
on
why?
Thursday?
Troy says so.
Troy says so.
And we
well,
haven't spoken about it. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, well, dude, we'll get to Tucker. It's super close now.
This is going to be a record.
Yeah, we actually are doing something on Friday. We're going down to our mates at the Village Idiots with the guys from Insta Eats. So that'll be a fun Friday.
This Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, this Friday. So we're gonna do that just for a blast, and then on the 26th of August we've got an event coming up at Villains Ale House. It's a food and beer pairing event. We are taking care of the beer side of things, and we are pairing up with Jason, Rockstar Baker of Cape Town, from Jason's Bakery. We are super excited about the event. There are going to be some way out beers. There are going to be some challenging pairings.
26th of August. Do you know what?
Not for the faint-hearted.
I think I'm here.
You
And
should be.
it's a Saturday from 4:30 to 7 p.m. So, and then there's discounts after that. So there's discounts for supper at the Village Idiot. There's beer discounts. It is going to be an epic day. Yeah, lots of fun. Cooking some food, drinking some beers.
Free entry?
No, there will be tickets for it. Oh, for you.
Oh, sorry, my mic's on.
Red carpet for you, Troy. Always, man. It's
It's going to be interesting though. There will be no sort of standard things going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I enjoy those things. I enjoy those food and beer pairings. I see that the Brewers Association or the... God, I wish I'd remember more stuff. Unfortunately,
Damn this craft beer.
damn this beer. That they are starting to take, they're starting to take the beer and food pairing courses a little bit more seriously in terms of you can actually apply to be a official
That's
judge
cool,
or
yeah.
aficionado, just as you would a craft beer judge. Now they're starting to take it a little bit more seriously. Like, okay, you need to have a bit of studying and knowledge in pairing food.
well, I mean, there's a lot there.
There's a whole textbook out there.
There's really a reason why raw oysters and stout is the world's first pairing.
It's weird, eh?
But it's unbelievable. It doesn't make any sense in your head.
I'm
It's in your mouth and it's
sad.
beautiful.
I'm sad I missed the Jack Black oyster pairing last
Yes.
week.
Yeah, it was last week. I don't think that one was thought out. It just happened.
It just happened.
And it happened to work.
Yeah.
So it was,
It's, but there is a reason it works, and one of the only guys that has really, done phenomenal stuff, was at Beer House with old Roy, the tasty one, McCaskill.
Yeah, Miss Roy, eh?
And now we've got, and I mean, the way that he spoke about food and beer pairing was at that next level. And now we've got a mate of ours called Pit Murray from Santa Ana's who's doing all the pairings.
Also, lekker guy.
Brilliant food. Brilliant beers. Awesome. Epic.
Guys, let's recap. We've got IPA Day this Thursday. You can meet us at 1 o'clock at Jack Black Brewing Company. We're going to have like a massive #Beer Time ensemble. We'll go to a few places. Friday, Jack Black are doing the same thing with a whole bunch of beers. I'll probably be licking my wounds. Saturday, we've got the Tap Takeover at CBC at the Spice Route in Paul with yours truly across the table from me and a few other guys. And then August 26th,
Yeah, August 26th, Villains Ale House.
Villains Ale House. And then obviously at the end of the year, we've got the Cape Town Festival Beer. Always something to look forward to. Gents, I think that's where we wrap it. I'd like to thank you for bringing some fantastic, unbelievable beers. Thank you to the people who brought it. Cole? Karen?
Caro,
Thank you very much.
Our food stylist on Beer Country.
What a champ.
Legend.
And I yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Do you guys have any we've got 2 minutes. Do you want to have lots of little shout outs? You've got your 100 points from your wives.
I think we're pretty much good. You know,
Always a pleasure to have you guys on the show.
Thank you to you, sir.
Thank you guys. Thanks for pushing the craft beer boundary, and let's keep doing that.
Yes.
What is your finish off with your quote from Babe Ruth there?
It is hard to beat someone who never gives up.
And we never give up, do we?
Never give up.
As stubborn as we are, we never give up. Guys, thank you very much for joining me today. Absolute blast.
As always, as always.
I'd like to thank our listeners because they put up with a lot of shit from me, but thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoy bringing quality entertainment to the airwaves. Inverted commas. And we will see you next week, same time, same place. And I've got to think of a better sign-off line.
We'll see you at the taco bar.
We'll see you at the Taco Bar. I'm looking forward to IPA Day on Thursday. I'm gonna IPA. I'm gonna absolutely push the boat out. But we'll see you guys then. Have a good week. Stay warm and keep the passion.
Drink the beers, man.
No, not that
Stay
one.
classy,
Stay classy. Stay classy. And we are going to stay classy with this classy hits. And what a better hits to play out for the guys from Beer Country. We'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks for listening, guys and girls. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search for #BeerTime. That's #BeerTime written out in full. Hope you enjoyed the show, and check you next time. Cheers.